everybody, and welcome back to another video. My name is Boosted John, and this is my fully built turbo LS VTEC EG hatch. That was a mouthful. And this car is finally back on the road. So, you guys have no idea what I'm talking about, but I'll get to that in a second. Today's video is going to be something that you guys have asked me for since I got the car running. You guys wanted a video of me just driving around, ripping the car a little bit, you know, just a more raw driving experience. And today I'm gonna give that to you. Now, first things first, I learned from my last video, the cost breakdown video of this car, because I actually lost patrons on Patreon after I posted that video. I mentioned Patreon like 3 times in that video actually, which was probably a little bit obnoxious, but I thought I had a really cool idea of like offering merch as compensation for people supporting me on Patreon, and I have since learned from that. So I have decided to completely rebrand my merch website and finally bring back some actual merch on the website. Let's go! Anyway, completely rebranding the merch website. I'm gonna make some, I'm not even kidding, like I have this idea for merch for this winter, fall, whatever, probably fall, and it's gonna be so cool. It's not gonna appeal to just you guys who watch my channel all the time. It will appeal to literally, oh, whoops. It'll appeal to literally anyone who likes cars and anyone who works on their cars. So I'm really excited to start working on that. And that way you guys that do want to support me still can, without having to go through the whole Patreon process. Anyway, you're wondering why this car wasn't running for the past 4 or 5 days. I haven't really told anybody on YouTube about it, but I was updating Instagram quite a bit, so if you want to stay up to date on things that are going on with this car that I don't film, that I don't put on YouTube, please follow my Instagram at boosted_John. I was having a lot of trouble with this car over the past couple days. You'll see in this time lapse that I'm going to start rolling right now, I lost 2 nuts, 2 of the locking nuts that you use to set your valve lash. They're the ones that like lock the set screws in place. 2 of those nuts came loose, backed off of the set screws, and got lost in my engine. Yes, that actually happened. And I was terrified. I was absolutely terrified. I came outside the morning after this car had a lot of like really loud ticking, and I was like, okay, just gonna do another routine valve adjustment. I've done them so many times in the past. I was just chilling out, you know, had my coffee with me and everything. I pulled the valve cover off and I started looking around, and I'm checking all the nuts to make sure, you know, see which one's loose so that I can readjust those valves. And unfortunately 2 of them had fallen off. So I dropped the oil pan, I pulled off my breather setup to see if the nuts had fallen down into the breather, pulled off the oil filter, sandwich plate, like everything that oil touched inside this engine, I had removed. They weren't in the oil pan, they weren't in the windage tray, they weren't in the pickup tube, the oil pickup, they weren't in the oil pump, they weren't in any of the oil passages inside the block. So I had to remove the camshafts, and after hours of searching that day, I finally found both nuts inside the cylinder head. It was such a relief, and the car had literally been out of commission for 2 or 3 days at that point. Woo! Putsy's back, baby! Let's go! I also had a really hard time setting timing after, like, when I was putting the cams back in, because I had adjustable cam gears and I just didn't have them set right. So I actually went and picked up some stock P16 cam gears from Mark over at 16 Motorsports. Thank you, Mark, for always saving my ass. I installed those cam gears and set the timing and got it perfect first try. I was very annoyed. It literally, I was trying to set timing, you know, I was doing the tensioner, cranking the crank around, trying to see how timing was. Wouldn't work. I'd undo the tensioner, try set time. It just like, I was doing it over and over again for 2 days straight, and it was killing my soul. So that was such a relief that I finally got it. I double checked the base timing this morning by locking the timing at 16 degrees in S Manager. That was not good. really did not like something that I just did. So I clearly can't really get into VTEC. My timing must still be a little bit whack, because I think that when I went to go get my dyno tune done, my base timing wasn't set properly then. So that would throw off all of the tune for the most part. So me driving right now is honestly probably stupid and risky. So I'm gonna go ahead and not do any more like big pulls. I'll do like little stuff, get into boost like a tad, but I think when VTEC hits, things are starting to get weird. I apologize that I can't absolutely like rip it right now, but I am also on public streets and I don't want to be, you know, going a $120 down Willow Road. So due to this unfortunate circumstance of having to get my tune kind of adjusted, I've been in contact with Mike from Red Mist Auto, and I'm going to be going back for like a wellness check tune. He's also going to be giving me some GSR cams, so I'll be throwing in the GSR cams, going back for my wellness check. You know, he'll throw the car in the dyno, play with it a little bit, make sure everything is still good, and then I'm gonna go to the drag strip. I'm gonna take this car to the drag strip. Like as soon as this car is re-dialed in and I know it's reliable, and I'm not gonna like blow anything up just by doing a single pull, I'll go to the drag strip and I will absolutely rip this thing for you guys. So I know you guys wanted to see some hard pulls in this video. I apologize that I'm not gonna be able to make that happen. My intention when I left my house today to film this video was to do some hard pulls, but I don't feel comfortable doing it with the engine how it is right now, or with the tune how it is right now. Got some hard turns coming up here. Okay, so also in the past couple days that the car's been down, I have made several improvements to the setup that are actually pretty substantial. So I'm also going to tell you guys about those here as well. I didn't film them just because I was in brain fart mode trying to figure out the timing. I replaced the radiator fan with a Mishimoto one. That was provided by Gingium. Thank you, Gingium, for the Mishimoto radiator fan. You're the man. That seems to be doing a much better job keeping the temps low. Normally I'd be overheating on a day like today, so that's big. The fan's slightly bigger than my old one and just a higher quality one. The one that I had before was from Amazon and it was like 15 bucks. Also, I noticed that my exhaust was still kind of rubbing on my fender where it exits the engine bay. So I took my die grinder and I removed even more material. Now the exhaust hits absolutely nothing, even under like, I was like pushing on it as hard as I possibly could in all directions, and it was not hitting at all. So my exhaust note actually sounds so much better now than it did before this car was down for the past couple days. So that's huge. I'm super happy about that. I also took this time to remove the steel wool from my breather tank. It was like a baffling medium, and I decided to remove it because I have it set up so that any oil that gets into there drains back into the crankcase anyway. So if oil was draining back into there, I didn't want chunks of steel wool draining back into my crankcase, which you probably understand. So that's big. I also decided to shorten the lines for my breather tank, because before the lines would come out of my breather and they dip down way below where they go into the engine block. You know, they dip down way low and then go back up into the block. And so any oil that would actually go into those lines or like make its way up into the breather, if it was trying to drain its way back down, it would drain down and then it would just sit in that dip in the bottom of the lines. So I finally shortened those lines, and now they run on it's always like from the block, it's on an upward angle to the breather the whole way. So any oil that goes up there that needs to drain back down will drain right back down into the block. That is another huge thing that I'm super happy about. And lastly, the wire for my oil pressure sensor connector snapped. So I extended the wire, resoldered the connector back onto the wire, and now my oil pressure sensor is working. So I can't wait to throw those GSR cams in and get back on the dyno and hit this wellness check. Before I throw those cams in though, I'm going to also re-torque the head studs just to make sure they're good once I pull the stock cams out. And then I think this car is going to rip. I think this thing's going to be so fun. Cams might increase the horsepower by a little bit, which would be awesome. Not that I'm not satisfied with its power level right now, because I completely am. This car's an absolute rocket right now, which is, it's so fun and scary to drive at the same time. But also having the bigger cams will make this car a lot more robust. So that is all that I have to say in this video. I'm gonna put some clips of this car like actually ripping after, you know, after I'm done talking right now. I'll put a couple clips of it ripping so you guys at least have that satisfaction, since I didn't get to do any like really full hard pulls in this video. So enjoy those. Thank you for all the awesome support lately. The last video, the cost breakdown video, did so well. It's getting so many views compared to what I normally get, and thank you for that. Like I said, I'm gonna be redoing the entire merch website, so there will be a whole new line of merch on there in a couple of months. But in the meantime, if you do want to check out some of my merch that I currently have, like this hat and these jet tags that have my keys, feel free to check out Patreon. Not trying to really push it, but if any of you guys do feel like you want merch, that's really the only way for you to get your hands on it right now. My merch website's down. And that's it. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. If you like this video, please click that thumbs up. Also, if you like this video, please click that subscribe button. Growing a lot lately, so if you guys want to be a part of the OGs, get on it now. And as I always say, boys, remember to plan, commit, execute, and attain your goals. Bye. It was power cutting in third gear at like...
What was it doing?
It was just cutting power and a check engine light would flash at like 6,500.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
I want to turn the boost on a little bit.
Okay. Just on the controller?
Yeah, I have the boost cut set at 19.
Okay.
And then your target is 17.
Okay.
And as it, you know, obviously it was hot inside the shop.
Yeah.
So
oh, colder air, it's more dense. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll just turn it down. What do you think, like 180 degrees?
That'd be 360 and just see what happens.
Okay.
Woo doggy, holy shit. John's first words after driving his car.
Dude, nuts. That's crazy. That's so fun.
Third gear just goes.
Hell yeah. Thank you, Mike.
Glad you like it.
Alright, so shift as fast as I can.
Yeah. Cool. If you do, you'll be good.
Ready?
Yep. Dude, that's so funny.
Well, is that all? That's the only reason why you wanted me to drive it? So you can prove that you're not the only person that short shifts? You want me to do it again or no?
No.
Okay.
No. It scared the shit out of me, man.
Did it really?
It's just so scary to sit in the passenger seat.
Oh yeah. You feel like the driver's not in control. Mike was in like the top of fourth at the end. I'm like, oh my god.
You were in top of fourth?
Mike was.
Oh, holy fuck, are you serious?
Yeah, he was going like 130.
Oh my god.
He maxed the speed out.
Oh my god.